Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 17th of April. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. And it was. Boy, it was about to be a lot more money, though. I think a couple of you were in on the chops, at least some of you on Twitter that follow me were in on the chop. It was like 49 dupes, so I wasn't particularly proud of my $4,000, but it's 100K to chop, so I didn't limit my dupes like I should have. But regardless, I was gonna win it up until the Kuminga BS free throws, and so I got second place. Now, congrats to S Graber. I love to see a unique 100K. Great job, SaberSim, obviously, but pull the guys a little bit faster, Steve. It's over. Anyway, okay. So for today's slate, not too surprised. Well, I'll talk more about showdowns too. Just to say that at the top. I'm gonna peter out on the classic slate and then give you a little bit about showdowns. I do have a rule today. I think Capela or Bruno Fernando will probably be out there. So I have Capela or Bruno Fernando as a fork out there again. If you go in there just natively, he's minus 0.15. Who knows if you need the rule for sure? I don't think there's really a 5% chance he DNPs. That seems a bit high. But anyway, let's see. How did I change the Hawks? I gave Trae Young more points. I gave Capela 40, a lot more run. Bogdanovich a few more minutes. Bruno Fernando more minutes if he gets any. And then yeah, Garrison Mattews just going to be a solid part of this rotation, almost at the flat man price today. He's 80% owned, but yeah, I mean, fine. He should probably be 80% owned, Garrison Mattews. Do I like to say that? No, I don't like to say that. That's very weird to say. I know he's not great at basketball. However, he's in this playoff rotation. And yeah, that's about all. There's just no other value. So that's why we're getting there. That's why you should get there. I don't know about Tobias Harris at 40%. That seems a bit speculative. He's fine, but 30% will do fine. Unless anything else here that I'm disagreeing with. I love my Capela exposure here. Capela, Vooch, Jimmy. Oh yeah, the other thing I added, we got playoff Jimmy. Don't forget, like Jimmy Butler is legitimately not trying during the regular season once they make the playoffs. He's just waiting to be playoff Jimmy. So they're playing Philly today. Yeah, it's going to be a big game, and I expect to see playoff Jimmy on full display. 65% is a bit much. Let's go 45% chance of playoff Jimmy. Similar, yeah. Vooch is underpriced. Yeah, these are the guys you jam. You jam guys that are super underpriced. Now, not Caruso. That seems again like a little bit of a fishy play. He's fine, but I mean, like, there's a lot of fine plays. Yeah, so we go into a bunch of Vooch, and then it's a little fishy to have that much Javonte Green. I mean, I don't know what that rotation is going to be like either for sure. And I didn't want to have this much Buddy Hield either when I did it earlier. I just went like 15, 20% Buddy Hield because he's a shooter. I'm sure I'm just gonna run out of dudes, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, let me see if I can rerun it. Hey, you know what? I'm okay with the way it's jamming here, the way it's going over right now. Yeah, Caleb Martin being a little bit more core for me. I can see that. I can see them giving him a lot more run, letting him maybe run the point in the clutch. Um, that's a lot of Kyle Lowry. I don't particularly want to have that much Kyle Lowry, so maybe I do rerun this. But well, did I fill out the lineups number wise? No. So that means I could allow a little bit more wiggle room. Yeah, it's a big, it's a short slate. So if you use your whole salary, you're going to be duped a ton. So I do tend to leave 200 on the table. So now that I'm going all the way down to 1,000, let me do leave 200 on the table in my next build. And anyway, I'm not going to really probably revisit that. I'm just going to go talk about Showdown for a second. So here's Showdown, still building. Okay, well for Showdown, same deal. Atlanta, Chicago. That's where it's only 50K tonight. Come on, give us a 100K Showdown, guys. But so I did the same general tweaks I did to the other lineups, although I see I didn't do Bogdan like I should have. I think all the main guys get extended, and guys on the bench will be, to an extent squeezed a little bit. Although, I mean, how many minutes are we even giving Garrison Matthews here? Like 20? Yeah, 21. It's a bit high. And he's not as good of a deal in what's it called, in Showdown as he is in Classic. So don't worry about it if you don't wind up with a lot of him. Yeah, I'm building 5,000 lineups. That's kind of a lot. They don't recommend building that much. I think they recommend building just 2,000. But, if I pay for 5,000, I'm getting my 5,000. Ah. And I did do settings wise. I did do 42,500 to 50,000. So I'm allowing a little bit more salary than I normally would on this showdown slate. Because we do have guys like Garrison Mattews and Wesley Matthews who are like pretty close to the Stone Men. And now that I say that, they're actually more mispriced on this slate than they are on the main slate. I got to allow Bruno Fernando captain lineups. Well, I'll have to rerun this later. I'll mostly be putting hand builds in because I can feel it. So anyway, favorite captains in here, what are they going to be? They're going to be like Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic. Probably not DeJounte, just because I don't know. I feel like he's still priced high from when Trae was out. So I'm not going to unclick him, but I'm not going to expect to lean into much there. Kobe, Caruso, particularly if Io's ruled out. But either way, they're fine options. You can go with them in the captain if you want to. Hey, good. Okay, we've reached some level of conclusion here. All right, we've got the 4,400. Okay, Vooch captain, DeRozan. Yep, exactly what we thought. 10% Garrison Matthews. Exactly what I thought. I think it's in the mix to go with the punt captain. Those lineups are going to be tough to not be duped, but look at how much more frequently optimal. 13 versus 6 versus so like if you think about if the frequency is double, then it's fine to be duped twice as much as you would normally allow a lineup to be duped. Not that you should definitely play that lineup, but I'm going to probably play that lineup. Anyway, so there's a few lineups like that. Obviously, like last night, the 49 dupe train wasn't using all your salary. That was going to the second highest up option, which was Draymond Green. But if you'd gone to the third or fourth highest salary option, which was Kuminga, you won $100,000. So these are the decisions you got to make in these showdowns. Is be very careful when you're using your salary. Let's look at some of these lineups salary wise. 49.9, 49.1, 49.9, 50. Oh right, I didn't rebuild yet. 49.7, 48.5. So you can leave salary because Garrison Matthews' value is pretty extreme tonight. All right. So with that, I'll say, hey, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money, and $2,000 is fine. I would have preferred 6.